Okay, so in this video, we're gonna look at Cloud9. We're gonna log in and take a look at our development environment. So if you've already signed up, go ahead and click the sign in button. Type in your username and password. And this is the screen you'll see. Now I've got a bunch of different projects here. You won't have any of that when you first sign up, but this is the main screen. And all we do to create a new workspace, and a workspace is basically a project. Every time you create a new project, you want to create a new workspace. So just click this button right here and give our project a name. Let's call this, I don't know, Stalker. We're gonna make a stock market app. Let's see, keep all this the same. And check this out, you can choose either HTML5, Node, PHP, Python, Django, Ruby on Rails, C++, WordPress. This Rails tutorial, that's something else. We don't care about this. This Harvard thing, that's something else. Or you can do a blank one. And a lot of times I'll do blank ones if I'm working in HTML or PHP. You can also choose HTML or PHP, but sometimes I find that blank is just the easiest. What we want is this Ruby on Rails button. So we just click that and everything else stays the same. If you use weird things in here, like, let's say, oh, that worked. Spaces, for instance, right? You get this little error thing here. So there's some rules for naming it, but you'll figure that out. So name it, click Ruby on Rails, create workspace. Now what's going on now is they're actually spinning up a Linux web server container. So we have the full power of a Linux web server at our disposal, absolutely free. And that is really, really cool. So you'll see in just a minute, the very first time you create a workspace, it can take a little bit of time to start it up because they're actually spinning up a server and it takes a couple of minutes, or sometimes boom, 10 seconds later, it starts right up. So don't worry if it takes a little bit of time the first time. The next time you log in, it'll start right up. So here we have this README file. We can click this button to close it. Now your screen might look a little bit different. Yours is probably white or gray or something. I like this dark, so I changed the settings. I just went to this little gear icon. And if you scroll down to, let's see, theme, I click this dark theme. I just kind of like it better. You don't have to do that yourself, or if you want to follow along exactly like I'm doing, go ahead and do that. Doesn't matter at all. So this is the development environment. And right here in the middle, that's our text editor. That's where we're gonna write all of our code, right? See? So that's really cool. Don't save. Over here we have our directory with all of our files, and this is a Ruby on Rails installation. This is all the stuff that you would normally install on your computer. It's installed up here in the cloud. So we'll go through this in a little bit and look at all of these different files and sort of start to make some sense of all this, because boy, this is a lot of stuff. I realize if this is your first time in Rails, you might be overwhelmed, like, what is all this stuff? Don't worry, we're gonna look at it in the next video. It's not that complicated, really. Down here at the bottom, we have our Linux terminal. This is a full command line terminal, which is just really, really awesome. Absolutely free. We can run normal Linux commands, clear the screen, do whatever. And if you don't have any experience with Linux, don't worry. I'm going to show you absolutely everything you need. It's actually really easy, and it's a pretty good skill to have if you're not familiar with Linux and you want to be a web developer. This will definitely give you an edge if you know how to use this. So I'll show you how to use this in the upcoming videos. We use this to issue all kinds of different commands while we're creating our Rails app. So it's really useful. And that's it. So that's basically the setup here. When we want to run our project, we click this little button here. We'll do that in a few videos from now once we get things up and running. And it's just that easy. When you click this button, you could open a new web browser and actually look at your app running in real time, which is really, really cool. So this is the development environment. Take a couple of minutes, just kind of look through here. We're going to look at these in the next video. So, you know, don't freak out if you get overwhelmed by all this stuff. And so that's all for this video.